Everyone has anxiously been anticipating the release of Microsoft's Scorpio. While it is going to be the most powerful console we have ever seen and is miles better than the Xbox One and the Xbox One S, I'll explain to you why the claims they're making are nearly impossible. Okay, so first off, the GPU. Microsoft claims it will have a 6 teraflop GPU in it. On the screen here, I will be showing a 6 teraflop GPU. Pretty expensive, right? Plus they have to add in the price of the motherboard, the hard drive, the case, the RAM, the manufacturing, the labor, every single thing involved will be way more than $400, which is what they claim to be, or what I've heard rumors of. I don't know if they've officially released the actual price yet, but that's, I think, what's rumored. And everyone has said that it will have Ryzen chips in it. If that is so, the cheapest one I'd assume is about $100. I haven't really done much research into it, and don't remember what the Ryzen 3 lineups will be. But I think the cheapest is about $100. So the GPU and CPU alone will be almost as much as they claim it will be on release. Can't you see how that seems a little sketchy to me? How it seems a little, well, it's probably not going to be that way. Also, people have said it's going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM. While you can get cheaper RAM, which has lower clock speeds and will be lower in DDR, there are multiple levels of DDR, DDR1 and above, or DDR and above. So they could get a $10 set of DDR chips, DDR original chips, or sticks for dirt cheap, but it will be slow and won't be able to do 4K, I can tell you that. So if they do put 12 gigabytes, I'm assuming if they go, new, $100. I mean, if they go with the newest stuff. Not $100, but below that, but still. Then, everyone claims that it will kick PC players off and will increase the recommended specs for games, which it won't. It will do absolutely nothing, because what they do when they make a game, I'm thinking, is they make the game for PC first, then they port it over to console. That'd be the most smart decision, because you start off with the best, then go to the weak. So then you can get a good base platform to make that lower spec the same, or not the same, but be able to run on it. So lower the resolution, lower everything with it. Or not lower, but you know what I mean. The Xbox Scorpio, I don't think is going to sell as good as they think. I don't think it's going to sell as many copies, or not copies, but as many consoles as they really do want it to. It's kind of weird what Microsoft is doing. We had Xbox 360, then we had the Xbox One. There was like 10 years of time in between the two. Now there was one console they released, there was actually two, just like they did here. Xbox 360 white, then Xbox 360 Slim, which was black, and then they made the Xbox 360 like S, I think it was called, and that one was like futuristic and different. But that sort of looks like what they're doing with Xbox One, doesn't it? There was the Xbox One, Xbox One S, then Xbox One Xbox One, but it was Xbox Scorpio they're releasing. And then I think we're just going to have 10 years of just wasted time up until that console, that new generation. And those people that are buying these Xbox Scorpios, they're probably going to have to buy all new games, every single thing new that they had before. They're not going to want to, I have to go back to my Xbox One to play my older games. I'd have to go back to that, and it's so much wasted time. So I'm just going to buy everything else new for this game. Which I'm sure they're not going to do reverse compatibility. They probably will, actually. But really, I don't see a point in it. Even if they do release it this much, it'll be a great stride for consoles. The Xbox Scorpio is rumored to be 4.6% better than Xbox One, the original base model. Which, that is a big leap. That's almost a generation leap, is what usually they would do. So, who knows? I could be wrong. I'm just an idiot. Don't take the word from me. If you want to buy it. Go ahead. But all I can ask you to do is just think about it. Think how unrealistic this actually looks. And if they do manage to release with a 6 teraflop GPU in it. It is not going to be as powerful as that card I just showed you, because that is a card. A card has fans, it has its own RAM, it has everything its own in its own little package. While this new one, the new Xboxes, will probably be in a chip form. It will have to share the RAM of the CPU, which bogs its performance and doesn't allow good scaling. It will also have to share everything else with the CPU, the hard drive, everything that needs resources will be using it while the GPUs are using it. So it's not going to be spec, amazing. It's also not going to be true 4K all the time. I say all the time because they do stuff called checkerboard upscaling. So you could take 1080p, then upscale it to 4K. And it's not as resource demanding, but it's not true 4K. It looks like it's 4K, but it's truly not. And it's probably going to be 4K checkerboard upscaled 30 FPS at most times. There are some exceptions to this rule, because it can in fact do 4K natively, but that's only going to be for certain games, your low resource demanding games, like Minecraft, your indie games, most of them. And the games that just don't take a lot of those resources that they need. And even with the 4K, it is going to be 30 FPS. Some may argue you can't see above 29, or whatever they say, which is bullcrap. It's complete bogus. We don't see in frame rates. It's not how it works. Our eyes can see upwards of 1,000. Not the untrained eye, but air pilots, they've trained their eyes to be able to see 1,000 frames per second. So that just puts your bogus claims in the trash. But that's just the nature of it. That's the video for today, guys. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up. Don't do it if you don't want to. Just click off the video if you don't want to. I'm not going to force you to do anything. See you in the next one, guys. The next 2 weeks, because that seems to be my upload schedule.